Cocaine's a hell of a drug, kids.
Peru.
But yeah, it's like the whole goddamn story was just this fucking Autismo's journal of like, oh, I got a super suit today. And then she goes on and spends like the entire half of the chapter talking about how the texture of the fabric, irritates her on her hands or something. And how because it was black, she can't wear it because black things are bad. Shut up, Arn.
I wasn't gonna say anything, but alright then.
Yes, you were.
We know how your idiotic little gremlin.
No, I was thinking it. I wasn't gonna say it though.
But I was fine at first with listening to the internal monologuing because I was like, okay, yeah, it's this fucking supercomputer that's trying to figure out how to not be like a supercomputer because she's not a supercomputer anymore.
She's now a meat computer.
Yeah.
Gotta install Windows Vista still.
Yeah. And and then it just turned into, and then it just became all about autism and how she has autism problems, and just got really fucking boring. Every chapter started being about how she has autism.
Yay, because that makes for such riveting storytelling.
Oh, and the latest chapter and why I ultimately dropped it is because they had the Flash crossover episode, and they had the Flash be socially awkward, which, fair enough, yeah, that's Barry.
Well, depends on which version of Barry.
Yeah, I was
the Flash
gonna say,
is net CW version of Barry.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure that's a bad one to pick right now.
It's a very bad one to pick, yes. Well, but it is also what canonically happened in Supergirl, so. So yeah, they had the crossover episode, and Barry was putting his foot in his mouth, and then they got into the topic of how tall Taylor is compared to the normal girl, and Barry was like, "Oh, don't worry, I'm sure you'll find someone who has no problem with your height, so it's not something to be self-conscious over." And then both Supergirl and QA got angry at Barry for suggesting that she would find a romantic partner. And then he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize you were gay. I'm sure you'll find a woman out there as well, And they're like, "Oh, I'm not gay either." And he's like, "What?" She's like, "I'm asexual. You should look it up." It's like, that's not something someone would ever assume or know about anyone. It's like, okay, well, if you're not straight, then you're probably gay. Because turns out a sexually active dimorphic species is probably sexually active.
I know you're gonna.
Wild.
Well, the
wild on that one.
Yeah, well, the weirder part there is that it just means they don't have a sexual drive. They could still experience romantic feelings.
Yeah, I know, but I'm
Taylor could still totally find a romantic partner that's it. It's just romantic. There's nothing more than that.
Yeah, very low likelihood, but yeah, you could. It's
well,
possible.
Yeah, low likelihood, but just what the fuck, author?
Well, it's also entirely possible.
You have to caveat all of this with it's sufficient velocity. There was someone who pointed out the hardline feminist streak that the authors of Supergirl, of the CW version, the hardline feminist stances that all of the writers had taken, and they were on Twitter they said these things, this thing, and then in the show they portrayed men as all stupid, all bad, etc., and all of the positions of power are occupied by women. And they just, it wasn't like I was like, "Oh, women were bad." It was just like, this is how the show is structured. This is how the writers have their political opinions displayed on Twitter. This is why the characters act like this in this show, and this story is based in this show, and that's why these certain things happen, and that's why I don't like the story. And then a moderator comes in and bans him for misogyny. I'm like, yep, that's sufficient velocity.
Yeah.
Also, I want to point out, it's not like a common solution, but I know there are some individuals out there. Like, it's gonna sound ridiculous to say this. They formed a trio where one person didn't want to be in a committed relationship, and they just wanted, to bang, and the other person just wanted to be in a relationship with no banging, and one person was like, I like both of you. Obviously, that's not going to be a solution that happens all the time, but it was their solution. I'm like, I guess that works.
Yeah, no, like I said, it
Yeah.
is technically possible.
Just exceedingly unlikely.
Yeah, and that's another thing that I do get pretty pissed at people IRL over. It's like, oh, I want this thing out of my relationships. It's like, okay, well, you're setting a very precise, extremely filtered criteria, so don't expect that relationship to ever pop up in your life. And I don't mean this in a negative fashion. I mean, quite literally, by the law of statistics, you are unlikely to ever fulfill your criteria.
Like, listen, you know exactly what you want. You better go look for it. What's that strange person on the internet? You want someone to dress like a dog and let you keep them in a cage? Well, you're gonna have to go look for that.
It's not too hard to find these days, but yeah.
Yeah.
Good point.
There's very likely a dating site for that specific scenario.
Yeah.
Uh,
Though
More
I
than
have
one,
to,
for
I
sure.
have to say it
You-
was fairly based. Apparently, there was a very based villain of the day in Supergirl. I didn't know this, but there was a supercomputer AI that was an ex-prisoner of the extra-dimensional prison that the Kryptonians had in this new universe.
Yep.
Yeah. This supercomputer is a traditionalist, and they had them turn the supercomputer into an extremist terrorist who threatened to nuke a city due to the rampant degeneracy occurring in it.
Mm.
Excellent.
Anyways.
I was like, that's the villain. Yeah, you guys sure you really want to go with that one?
All right.
Uh,
Fuck it, they're committed.
All right.
that's true. All right, Sneaky. Here's my question for you.
Yes.
Of all the things on the internet, what's the least likely, like statistically speaking, relationship goal you've seen?
The least likely I've seen?
Yeah, like the one, like the most ultra specific. I want X.
I saw an extremely fat, poor guy who made no attempts to better his life say that he wants a traditional wife.
What, only one?
Yeah, he's
There are a dime a dozen.
yes, he was traditional. You see,
Yeah.
he wants her to be
Right.
religious and only
Yeah.
cook and clean and produce children for him.
I mean, that's just like half the insult.
I know. That's kind of my point.
So, yeah, that's just fairly common. Is my counterpoint.
I know. And Atin wasn't asking about rare. He was asking about most unlikely to happen.
Well,
That's
fair
true.
enough.
I did ask for the
True.
most unlikely, not
Fair
the
enough.
most rare.
Yeah. True.
Yeah, the whole thing, the funniest thing about the fucking incel movement is the fact that they're not involuntarily celibate. They're purposely celibate because they're preventing themselves from exiting celibacy status.
Yeah. Pretty impressive, honestly.
Yeah, it is. All right, so you know what we're gonna do tonight? Because I'm laughing. We're gonna do Pokemon. We're gonna do Pokemon crossovers tonight.
Oh, go on.
Pokemon. I can't read anymore. Oh, where the fuck is the P? Oh, I looked in the anime and manga. That's probably why I can't find Pokemon.
Yeah.
Pokemon
your
and
first
Sonic the
mistake.
Hedgehog are the highest crossover sections. I am simultaneously not surprised, and yet
Listen,
at the
if
same
it's about
time-
them, if it's about keeping Sonic the Hedgehog as the ultimate Pokemon and forcing him to fight in a like anti-PETA ring, listen, I'm down for that. That's funny as hell.
Jesus Christ, Aura was just inflicted with 8 minutes of ads.
Damn.
Twitch be like.
We do a little
All right,
trolling.
we're going to give you your ads and revenue again. You're not going to be allowed to stream.
Your stream is gonna be only ads.
Your
I mean,
stream
if you profit,
exists for the
that's fine.
purpose of generating ads, boy.
Understandable. Have a good day.
Indeed. What did you miss? Nothing. The sufficient velocity being sufficient velocity, and I said some base things.
Yeah.
Oh wow, this is a crossover, all right. Oh wow, that's a lot of words for that kind of crossover too. Okay, so this is an Evangelion Pokemon crossover.
Oh no.
Each thy provocations, mortal.
No, that's not a good idea.
It's a whole new world you live in. Another crossover of originality, which isn't always a good one.
Well, it's
So-
also likely to be untrue.
Well, yes, but also at the same time, like, I've seen a lot of stories in my day of, like, I can't believe there's no Undertale, Crusader Kings 3 crossovers! That'll be the first one! And it's like, yeah,
That'd be
gee.
funny as fuck, though.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, gee, I can't fucking imagine why there isn't a lot of Undertale Crusader Kings 3 crossovers. It's almost like those two genres have so not genres, games have absolutely nothing to do with each other in the slightest, and it would be like trying to charge a Tesla with a gas pump.
You might manage it, but
You
Pretty
won't
funny, though.
manage it.
At what cost?
At what cost?
Yeah.
There will definitely be a fire in the engine block, and the car will definitely leave the location it's currently in.
True.
Oh no,
Oh,
this
no.
author? Oh.
Oh, number 4.
Uh,
number 4. No.
Uh-oh.
No.
Oh no.
No.
Oh no.
Well, okay, I mean, that
my
one is also horrible.
God.
Oh, no.
193 stories.
Yeah, but
what is this?
Oh.
yeah, if you go back to the
2008,
crossover thing,
baby.
And it hasn't improved.
God. And he probably hasn't improved. All right, well, we have to read this story now. The fourth story you said? Pokemon
yeah.
and the Jetsons?
the author. You recognize someone?
Yoshi's Eloridoris?
Is it that man again?
This isn't the fart fetish dude.
Oh no!
It is.
Oh no! His power only grows!
2,848 stories.
Didn't that used to be like closer to 2,000 last
It
time?
used to be way
Yeah.
lower!
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I like that this guy's profile is so fucking old that he has hyperlinks in it that work.
Yep.
Maybe.
Yeah, because if he doesn't touch them while editing his profile, it doesn't mess with anything.
Yeah, no, okay. They yeah, no, it does mess with it. The hyperlinks got cleaned out, but they're still hyperlinks.
Yeah.
But the hyperlink itself got cleaned.
He had an 8chan board, what the fuck?
He's got an 8chan board. Jesus Christ.
That is more horrific than anything else on his page, honestly.
Thou art truly accursed among men.
Mongoose.
I'm now actually massively worried about the wording in this story.
Look at how many things he just uploaded on July 31st alone.
Oh no!
Yeah.
No wonder he's got so many things. He does like little 200 to 300 bytes.
Yeah.
Chrome, you doing okay?
Chrome wanted to die.
I think Chrome wishes to leave.
Chrome, are you?
You'll load this garbage, Chrome, and you'll do it willingly.
Am I maxing
God.
out on anything? No, I'm at 50% memory and 20% CPU. Chrome is just having an aneurysm. Chrome is just edging that aneurysm.
No, that sounds about right for
Understandably
Chrome,
so.
though.
Please do not utter that phrase again.
It's a good phrase.
The first time I've seen someone who it's a Jetson fanfiction. Well, that's being very generous in the words fanfiction.
I would rather use the term fart fiction.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's more like fart fiction.
That author would probably prefer that term as well.
He probably
I would prefer the author not speak.
I would prefer the author be put on trial for disgusting content, but you know.
Executed at dawn.
Oh.
But yep. I'm sorry, excuse me. What? After being sucked into an ultra wormhole, Ash and Pikachu now become Vikings.
Amazing.
Ash joins the Dragon Riders in their adventure.
God.
Pokemon and wrestling crossover! All I want for Christmas is a Pokemon!
Alright then.
37,000 words? What?
Oh my god.
Caitlyn times Bulbasaur? What?
That sounds illegal.
God, the
Poor
Pokemon crossover
Bulbasaur.
section is fucked up.
Yeah.
The first story, Evangelion. The second story, Ash becomes a Dragon Rider. The third story, some wrestler woman fucks a Pokemon. The fourth story, farting in the Jetson world. It's like, Jesus Christ. We're just getting hit by one after another. In the face. Bam, bam.
Yeah.
Filth, an endless, unceasing torrent. One might even say a loathsome dung eater.
The crazy caca consumer.
No, I'm not talking about people who go to Walmart.
American
Oh,
food be
Jesus
like.
Christ. Oh, God. It's one
No,
of these
listen,
guys.
Arn, you don't understand.
Oh, my God.
You've never had the unique
Why
pleasure
do
of
you
watching...
need a separate paragraph
Thank
for
fucking
everything?
god I haven't.
Favorite Lilo
Listen,
and Stitch
you haven't
fanfics?
lived until
Why
you've
is that a
watched
separate
the
section?
filth that is a Walmart's that is watching someone get thrown out of Walmart security live for being too gross to be at Walmart.
Yeah. Thank god I haven't.
Wow, this dude really likes Evangelion. Evangelion Pokemon, Evangelion Zoids, Attack on Titan, Evangelion, Evangelion Godzilla, Evangelion Gamera, Attack on Titan, Teen Titans, and Brightburn. I don't know what the fuck that is.
Listen, I got news for you. It's not that good.
Brightburn?
No. Evangelion.
Oh, yeah. Evangelion Killer Instinct, Attack on Titan, Evangelion Mighty Magisword. What? Evangelion, Attack on Titan, Godzilla, Evangelion Jackie Chan Adventures?
Alright, have I missed anything? 'Cause I just
What?
came in on Jackie Chan Adventures for some reason.
This dude
Evangelion
really
and
likes
Jackie Chan,
Evangelion.
Max.
This dude
Oh.
really likes Evangelion. I dream
you
of
missed me.
Evangelion. Evangelion Highlander. What?
Highlander?
Really? Highlander.
Sounds like you're trying to fucking summon Beetlejuice or something. Evangelion.
There can only be one Evangelion Highlander, the immortal Ikari.
Bro.
Why? This author writes a lot of really weird Evangelion crossovers with Gendo bashing. Oh, okay.
Okay, that's the only thing I'll agree with. That man deserves bashing. He's an awful parent.
Evangelion Godzilla, Attack on Titan, Mortal Kombat.
Huh.
Get over here! Squishes self.
Evangelion, My Hero Academia, 115,000 words.
Bro.
I see no problems here.
God, he is so fucking waxing poetic about poor Shinji.
Shinji is a whiny little jizzrag.
Evangelion, a game got kill.
Author, please stop. Like, Max, you've walked way more Evangelion than I have. Back me up. Shinji's just a little whiner.
Oh my god, it just keeps going. Evangelion.
I actually allow for characters' ages before making judgments like that, you jerk.
Shut up and get in the robot, Shinji.
Okay, like, look, I would have a lot of complaints about being put in that sort of situation. Namely, among them, I don't really want to face,
Alright.
world-destroying threats. Not a huge fan of dying. As much as I do it in video games, because I find it funny, that's a video game where I know I won't die in real life. I mark the ability to perish at a slightly higher than average rate when I'm fighting literal aliens from space bent on blowing up the Earth or whatever the fuck is going on. So, I can
apparently
understand.
missed something.
What?
I'm sorry, I'm sorry, a parent was talking to me. What did I just miss?
I'm talking about why I can understand Shinji's reactions
Oh,
in some part.
well, he's also 14 years old and has been abandoned by every single
Oh,
person in his life.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Is like I can understand a lot of reasons as to why he would be generally, not enjoying his situation. And I do agree with a lot of his reasoning. However, if my options given to me are get in the robot and fight the giant alien and hopefully save humanity, or sit in your piss and shit and wait for everything to blow up and die, I would get in the robot.
All jokes aside, Shinji does in fact have excellent reasons to be sad, but like he needs to get in the robot.
Oh, no one's denying he needs to get in the robot. The robot was technically designed for him, whether they knew it or not.
Well, yes, it had dear dead mother in it.
Go
What I
pilot
found
your
weird
dead
is
mom.
that after that was revealed,
Hmm.
we didn't have a rehash of the I'm not getting in the robot, because I'll be frank, no matter how much you like or dislike a character, I'm not going to get in a robot piloted by my dead mother's consciousness so I can fight an angel is very reasonable.
The only one that ended up figuring that out was Asuka. Like, there are like 3 people that know what they're made from. Asuka figures it out, but it's never shared with Shinji at any point, as far as I remember. Until, the end of it when he realizes what's going on. So
I see.
that's more of an audience reveal than a in-universe reveal.
I see.
It also occurs when Asuka's having a
doesn't-
massive breakdown.
Now, I also don't really follow Evangelion at all, beyond the fact that for some reason it's absurdly popular. Correct
Holy
me if
shit!
I'm wrong.
It's ended like 7 times.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Correct me if I'm wrong. Hasn't the author of Evangelion gone back in protest and like re-released the end of Evangelion over and over again with worse endings each time to
I can't tell you
hopefully
if they're
make
worse or
people
not.
to stop?
I can tell you
I don't mean
Yes,
narratively
I don't-
worse. I mean like in universe worse result. I guess you could say like if we started at good ending, we're now currently at holy fuck. Why are you still doing this ending?
No, not that I'm aware.
Okay, because that's just
Uh,
what I saw on 4chan. Is basically each movie makes the overall outcome of the story worse and worse
Oh.
for the characters, in hopes that eventually people will stop asking him to continue the story.
No, people didn't like what it did with the story.
Mm-hmm.
Evangelion 1.1 to 3.3 and 4.4 was just a retelling in the same way that it's a remake essentially.
Right. Okay.
There's
Yeah.
actually
Wasn't there like really heavy like Bible like phrase
uh
and usage like throughout the
that's
entire
always
show, and people kind of got
oh
pissed at that or something?
no, people didn't people like, oh, this is super symbolic, and he just picked that imagery because he thought it was really cool and it
Ah.
really helped.
Mhm.
It would be really impactful, which, to be fair, it worked.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was cool and it was impactful. Um, but the movie, I liked the movies as a separate thing from the original show. There's actually heavy implications that they're stuck in a time loop of sorts, like Dark Souls-esque.
Uh-huh.
A certain ending is achieved and then everything just loops back on itself with
Mhm.
slight variances in between.
That would suck.
Um, yeah, it would, and there's heavy implications that like a couple of characters eventually become aware of this, but it never plays a heavy part in the plot. But no, the people saying it gets worse is just because they don't like the way that he wrote it
Mhm.
for the
Mhm.
movies. That's all.
I see. Okay. Yeah, I've never been a huge fan of time loop stories or stories that actively involve time loops in them. Like that could be like a background plot of why this is all happening, but
Yeah.
I've never been a really big fan of foreground plot time loops because it
Yeah.
does really kill the investment you can have in a story if everything just gets reset.
Well, this was background plot
Oh yeah, no, I
for it.
know. I'm just making a commentary because
Yeah.
I see a lot of time loop fanfics where they're like, "Isn't it cool that whenever X character dies, everything starts over again?" It's like, no.
No, there's a good way and a bad way to handle it. Like, I don't know how far it gets with it, but ReZero has an interesting mechanic to the time loop by making it a checkpoint system,
Mm. Yeah.
except he has nothing to stop it, and he doesn't keep anything except his memory of the event.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's oh, there was one time travel thing you and I looked at, Sneaky, that was absolutely horrendous, and I can't remember what it was.
Well, since I don't remember it, it probably was so bad that I blotted it out of my memory.
Yeah, wasn't bad enough to remember, but was bad enough to say, fuck this.
Yeah, pretty much. That's how it goes. Wow, this is a lot of Evangelion fics. It just keeps going.
That's not surprising.
This man really likes Evangelion.
Oh, wait, it's a single person writing it?
It's a single person writing all of this, yeah.
Oh, sounds about right. He's probably one of those quote unquote purists who thinks that Evangelion rewrote how the mecha genre handles stuff, despite Gundam and Ideon existing literally decades prior to it. I feel
Like,
bad
listen,
for
I got news
I
for
feel
you.
bad for
If you
Anno.
compare, and I'm saying this unironic, I think that if you compare original Gundam to original Evangelion, original Gundam holds up way better, and Zeta holds up way better. Double Zeta has some rough bits, but I think it overall still holds up better too.
Feel bad for Ano. He actually really likes mecha stuff. So there's a lot of really interesting homages to the mecha genre in Evangelion, because it was meant to be a love letter to one of his favorite genres,
Mm-hmm.
not a deconstruction, because it had been deconstructed multiple times prior to Evangelion. Evangelion just sort of brought it into the zeitgeist of the public mind.
I mean, that makes a lot of sense then why a lot of those people went on to go create fucking Gurren Lagann.
Oh, yeah,
Because Gurren Lagann is
Cool.
such an absolute love letter to just mech anime.
Oh
super
gosh,
robot
listen, Gurren
specifically,
Lagann is the shit.
Oh. So why did you stumble on this dude that just wrote a bunch of Evangelions? Is this the
Oh,
same dude?
Because he was
the
Because
crossover?
he was the first guy in the Pokemon section that we're doing the crossovers of.
Okay. Alright.
And he decided to
Just
write a
wanted to double-check
Pokemon Evangelion crossover. And then Aura said, "Oh no, not this man." And so then I looked at his profile, and yeah.
Is it indeed an oh no, not this man moment?
Oh, it's absolutely oh no, not this man moment. So little story today. So before we get started into this, I was helping someone today fix their mic. Simple issue, like nothing super complicated. It was literally just Bluetooth troubleshooting and shit like that, right? But they
Yeah,
wanted
pretty
to
standard.
but they wanted to test it, so they brought me onto a call, and they're like, "Hey, can you hear me?" And I was like, "Yep, I can hear you." And they're like, "Oh, great, my mic works, thanks." I'm like, "Yep, no problem." And they're like, "Oh, by the way, could you also check out why my computer in Chrome is running so slow?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, sure, fine." They're like, "Yeah, people have looked at it before, but they could never figure out what the problem was." I'm like, "Really?" I'm like, "Okay." So I open up process list, check out the resource usage.
Oh no.
Guess what resource is being used at 100%?
RAM.
Memory?
The RAM. I'm like, well, see, there's your problem. You only have 8 gigabytes of RAM. Chrome is a notorious memory hog.
Chrome is the greediest bitch in existence.
So you're gonna want to get more RAM. And she's like, "Oh, okay, thank you." I'm like, "Yeah, no problem." But as I was investigating all of this, I was explaining what I was doing and what I was looking at and all that stuff because she was asking questions. She forgot that I was on a call with her because I was answering her questions over text because I didn't have a headset plugged in. So it was just playing through my speakers. And so she was just getting really angry and ranting as I'm explaining the problems with her computer to her. Except she's doing it all in accents. Just various accents. Never sticking to a single accent. And they're all
Mad
fairly...
at you herself, or
just the computer. She was just mad at the computer.
I see.
Because she was like, "Oh, of course it does this." I'm just like, Jesus fucking Christ.
Listen, someone forgetting they're on a call with you can be either one of the best moments of your friendship, or you find out how they really feel.
Yeah. But yeah, I was just sitting there, I'm like, I'm not gonna tell her she's on a hot mic, but...
The giggling will probably alert her.
Oh no, like I said, I didn't have a headset plugged in, so I didn't have a mic. It was just playing through my computer speakers.
I would have loved to have heard the reaction of you typing in, "I agree with everything you just said, ma'am."
I agree with you and your 49 accents.
All 70 of your personalities. Anyway, it's a whole new world you live in. Another crossover of originality. Suppose, for instance, that Shinji wakes up in a field and finds an injured animal, the likes of which he has never seen before, and then takes it to get help. You just find a weird-looking animal in the middle of nowhere after you just wake up in a field, and you're like, I better go grab this wild animal and drag it to a town that I don't know the distance of.
Sneaky, I want to point out to you, this is the boy who jerked off to an unconscious woman's side boob.
I'm aware. I'm just saying, it's pretty fucking dumb. And the way the author is phrasing it all makes it even fucking dumber. So I suspend your disbelief as I tell you that Shinji wakes up in a field, finds a weird animal, and just decides he's gonna manhandle it.
I was gonna make a joke about how obviously this author's Suthner, but
There's a limit.
yeah,
Unless
Are
you're
you sure you
Florida
really
man.
want to claim him for the South?
I don't
Too
know.
late! He's
Did
been
he
claimed!
did he mistake it for roadkill?
No. He
Oh.
wants it to heal it.
Okay, well, maybe he's more like Metro Southern than Southern, I guess.
Okay, you know what? I will give that to you. That this is a very city urbanite thing to do. Of oh no, poor wounded animal. Let me just go grab it.
The amount of times I've seen stories like, so I picked up this puppy, and it's like, ma'am, that is a coyote. Get it the fuck out of your house now. Like-
Listen, the best part about the coyotes in Illinois is these are little fucking rat dog. Like, they look like little rat dogs.
Oh,
Yeah.
good. That's good.
To
So
be
someone
fair,
thought they
there's
picked up a terrier.
not a lot of food in Illinois, so
Yeah, it's pretty much groundhogs and other small mammals.
yeah.
Maybe a few rodents.
He somehow manages to go and catch several legendaries. I'm fairly sure he catches all of the legendaries.
Of course.
Of course, why not?
What else
There's a
can you
couple
do? One of
legendaries
these
I could
things.
see being like, yo, this poor boy that needs a hug just needs a friend.
There's a few that would go like that,
That's
but
a
otherwise,
Sure,
very
but
small handful.
I
That's a
don't.
small handful.
I don't think any of them would let him be caught. Would let him catch them. Like chill out with him and can provide him company, sure, but catching them, I don't think so. If they won't let Ash Ketchum, destined savior of the world, a guy who has likely saved their lives at least twice by this point, catch a single one of them.
Died almost every single time.
No, we did prove that he doesn't die almost every single time. There's only a select few times where he definitely almost died, and died once.
I mean, he also got yeeted out of existence in one movie.
He did do that. This is true. He also got
I
eaten
found
by
out
a
about-
tree one movie.
A
As you do.
tree?
Yeah, a tree ate him.
Was it
Now-
a pseudo
was that Lucario?
It was Muse Tree, but yes.
Yeah, that was the Lucario movie.
Yeah.
The one with the 3 Reggies inside of it for some ungodly reason.
Yeah.
The one with the
Hmm.
what?
Don't
Yeah,
worry
that's what
about it.
That's what trees need.
Yeah.
Reggies. Oh no.
The Reggie
The
Rock,
ultimate in
Reggie
home
Hey
tree
Ice, and
defense.
Reggie Steel,
Yeah.
who just live in the tree.
Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of scary, actually.
They're just hanging out.
Oh.
I don't think
This
he
tree
likes
is
you.
our home.
What makes you say that? High-pitched, ineligible screech. Laser beams. Yeah, I think you might be right. I don't think he likes me.
Hmm.
When the Reggie Steel tries to communicate with you, he wants to kill you.
No, to be fair, it could be a friendship laser.
That only happens in Madoka.
It could be a really Bernie friendship laser.
That's Nanoha.
Yeah.
Yeah,
True.
Good point.
Very much Nano.
This laser will either make you my friend, or a gravestone.
That's just some service right there.
It's an express ticket. To where? Friendship.
Or the
Or,
afterlife.
and if I don't want to be your friend, the afterlife.
You get
First stop
reintegrated with the
friendship,
ground.
next stop afterlife.
Take your pick.
Can I choose to die? Nope.
If you get really screamy, the laser beam might take pity on you.
Then suppose our most familiar know-it-all. Our most familiar know-it-all. Who the fuck is? Who? The most familiar know-it. That doesn't describe anyone in Evangelion or Pokemon. Tells him to go on an
Yeah.
errand that
Yes.
allows him to experience the new world. Suppose
Guess it's supposed
Shinji,
to be one of the professors?
I guess, suppose Shinji became a Pokemon trainer. Get out of the Pokemon, Shinji. I don't regret that.
Oh, bro.
The Reggie's got some fucking sounds, yo. Was it Reggie Ice?
Reggie Ice, Reggie. Hey, rock and
Reggie Ice is
Steel.
angry.
Yeah, it's Regirock.
Where was the video?
I put it in 40K.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, 9K.
Un.
Yeah.
That's such a funny sound.
What the fuck is that slap? What the fuck are some of these recommended videos? What the fuck are some of these recommended videos?
I mean, Sneaky, you know what they are.
Chinese
because
Peppa Pig.
It's because it's a YouTube Kids video, unfortunately.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Oh, I
Chinese
was gonna say
YouTube
it's a
is
monument to all
actually
your
hell.
sins.
It's
I
just
mean, that's the
fuck-
same thing, really.
Oh, holy shit! That's fucking something.
Yeah.
Imagine that's the last thing you fucking hear is Wow! Just a fucking laser beam.
Yeah. Hang on. It literally just speaks wingdings.
Reggie Ice needs to get off the helium. Oh god, laser beam!
Yeah.
I think he likes me. We could say that. He only owns twice. Oh god. In the aftermath of the 12th angel attack, Shinji finds himself in a totally new place with a different type of animal kingdom, the kind you put in your pocket. Phrasing. Opening his eyes, the weakened 14-year-old boy known as Shinji Ikari awoke to find himself in an open field, under a tree, in the shade, away from the sun's rays. "Where am I?" he uttered, getting to his feet and looking around the field, seeing several trees, and blades of grass, and a clear sky, and a large lake nearby. Snap. He heard twigs snapping underneath something. He saw something emerging from behind a small bush. Eee! It went. Shinji got a good look at the creature. It looks like a small fox with brown fur. It's a Eevee. Eee! It whimpered. Riveting fucking dialogue here, author.
That's very interesting.
And then he ran over to it and picked it up and was like, "Oh boy, what do I do with this? I'll just dunk it into the water." And I started drinking some of the water, and then he pulled it out of the water. I wonder if it's going to turn into a Vaporeon. That seems like a very Shinji Pokemon.
You absolute motherfucker.
Pallet Town, 1 mile that way. Oh wow, that's convenient. There was just a sign in the middle of the forest. Just, just there. Not near a road or anything, just in the middle of the forest. Just, hey, Pallet Town, that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, where else are you going to put signs?
Blah, blah, blah. Third child was gone. Blah, 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 Mr. Mime, Mr. Mime, Mr. Mime, Mr. Mime. Mr. Mime, Shinji reacted. Whee! The fox creature went.
So true.
This is some fucking riveting dialogue. I found this animal. Where do I take it? Oh, go to Professor Oak's lab. He has a medical facility for Pokemon. Pokey, oh yeah, thank you. What a Pokemon. What's a Pokemon? Was she talking about this creature? Dude, fucking really? I have a creature here. Where do I take it to be healed? Oh, that creature? Take it over there. There is a medical facility for Pokemon there. Oh, okay. I wonder, is this what a Pokemon is?
Mm.
I don't know, man. Why don't you try adding 1 + 1 for a second there?
Why don't you try adding some bitches?
Get rid of that yee-ass haircut.
Exactly.
Who needs to get rid of a yee ass haircut?
Shinji,
You.
so he can get some bitches on his dick.
Certainly be better than jerking off to side boob.
Yeah, but currently, the only thing you've missed is the absolutely riveting dialogue with such moving lines as "Eee" and Mr. Mime.
Is it the terrifying mask of E?
It is not the terrifying mask of E. Blah, 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 blah. Gendo is evil and wants to hunt Shinji down, and Shinji's gonna go on an adventure with his new Eevee companion. Honestly, boring ass shit. We're just gonna keep going.
Yeah.
Friends in the multiverse. Jake and Kyle, two best friends, are men of culture, and they die at the same time and get a chance at the isekai experience. The only issue is that Death hired an insurance agent.
To like ensure death? Because that's kind of based.
That's pretty base, yeah.
Wow.
Join
Very
the two
forward-thinking.
on their journey through the multiverse, so it's a jump chain, cringe, as they start in separate worlds but manage to stay connected and still support each other.
Crunch.
There's the cringe. Crack story, one love interest each, AU worlds. So not only are they
crack involved in
not
this story.
only are they going to be going to worlds, the worlds they're going to are going to be AU worlds. Everything's going to be AU because that's what you want in a jump chain is completely AU worlds that have a totally different set of laws and how everything works and history.
Yes.
Because that won't get overly confusing at all whatsoever.
No, it never will. Why would you think that?
Yep, nope. This is an OC times Cynthia story and an OC times Tonks story.
Who?
Tonks from
Tonk.
Harry Potter.
Oh.
She's a
She's a metamorph.
shapeshifter from Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I never really got that whole shape-shifting part where it's like, oh yeah, she has a bloodline that lets her change her body. It's like, okay, cool, interesting. Does it let her generate mass? No. No. Everything she does and turns into has to look, with the mass that she currently has. It's like, oh, okay. So, how useful is it? Not at all. It's like, oh, okay. And no one
So
else
that
can do
sounds
this. Only her.
garbage.
Yep, only her. She has a unique blood talent that no one else has ever tried to replicate, ever. Despite all of us having magic and the blood talent being super rare. It's like, okay.
Yeah, apparently it's a black family thing, not just her.
That's just, Fanon.
Is it? No.
Yeah.
I don't think so, but whatever.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Because that whole it's a black family trait thing only started popping up when Harry Crow was posted, I believe.
Fair enough.
Yes, let's change the background setting so that only I will have any idea what's changed, and everyone who is aware of Pokemon or Harry Potter will be confused as hell as they try to understand what's going on. Yeah, pretty much, yeah. It's more interesting for the author that way, because that way they get to have their super mega power fantasy where everything works out for their OC.
They also get to pretend to be clever.
Exactly.
Because I've written a plot that no one can anticipate. Look at me.
Yep.
Yep.
It would be a shame if someone guessed the plot, forcing you to completely change your entire story for some arbitrary reason.
Yeah, wouldn't that be horrible?
I still don't understand the people that do that. I still to this day, I'll never
Nikki,
understand.
come on,
people
we're
that
not
do
in the
that.
Ruby section. Stop beating up Miles and Carrie.
Oh no, this is not just Miles and Carrie. This is actually reminds me of a Pokemon story I once guessed the plot of. It was on like chapter 7 or so. And I just left a review one day. I was like, so is X character gonna do Y and Z, and then X Pokemon shows up, and then this thing happens, with the ultimate end of the arc being that this villain shows up and gets defeated. And the author was like, "What the fuck? How the fuck did you? What?" Like, so was that not supposed to be obvious? He's like, dude, you just guessed my entire fucking story. I'm like, well, you made it pretty obvious to me, at least. And then he's like, well, I gotta change the story now. I'm like, well, no, you don't.
Yeah, it's, because people do not understand that it's okay for your story to be predictable as long as you execute it well.
Well, hang on a second. Predictable.
Well, it's not even predictable. It's just someone just guessed your story. Like, oh man, Albert Einstein managed to figure out my story's plot beats. I guess I have to change it now. It's like, what?
Ooh, yes. No sense of personal entitlement there.
Yeah, it's just like, well, one whole fucking person of the literal thousands that have read your story managed to guess what your story is going to be like. Why does that mean you have to change your story now? It's like, I just don't get it.
That's probably an obsession with wanting to feel like you've made something original that isn't.
If you want to make
predictable.
something original, why the fuck are you writing a fanfic?
No, that's a good question.
It's like being like, oh, I want to make an original sandcastle, and then you go out and you buy one of those pre-made sandcastle buckets, where all you do is you fill the sandcastle bucket, and then you flip it over, and boom, you have a whole made sandcastle. And it's just,
Yeah.
and so then you're like, you do it, and then you're like, someone's like, oh wow, that's a pretty cool sandcastle bucket series, and you're like, oh, I gotta fix the sandcastle now. It can't be like everyone else's. It's like, well then why did you buy the fucking bucket in the first place? If you want to make something original, then why the fuck are you using someone else's shit to do it?
No, that's a good question.
I'd rather read a rehash fic where the author expands and fleshes out on shit over an author trying to be special and original. Yeah, true.
Yeah, that's
Wouldn't that be a good thing? After all, it means you foreshadowed everything correctly. Yes, you would think that would be a good thing, but you have to keep in mind, Shadow, that these authors aren't aware of what a plot is or how books work.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
we actually are reaching that point. Where most of what we're seeing at this point is from people who've only read fan fiction and have not read any
Like,
traditional
I
fiction.
always thought that was just, like, the point, because, like, the books we were supposed to read as children, you know, the Harvey Boys, and, what was the girl
You
one?
mean the Hardy Brothers?
Yeah, the Hardy
And
Brothers,
Nancy
yeah.
Drew?
Nancy Drew and
But
the
yeah.
Hardy Brothers, where the entire story is like, here's the hints in the story. Also, we're gonna throw some hints in there that are gonna specifically lead you in the wrong direction, and the whole point of the story is for you to try and guess who the bad guy is and what their reasoning for doing what they did before it tells you in the story.
Well, yeah, because those were mystery novels for kids meant to help develop your critical thinking.
Right, but like that's the point, though. Like, of stories in general, is you should be able to tell what a story is trying to tell you.
There was a point where I was very excited because they were making they were like, guys, we're gonna update the Hardy Boys for modern day, and I was like, good.
Oh, that makes
More
me
people
worried.
will experience it.
That seems like a bad idea.
Yeah, and I feel like that would degrade the books.
It was actually okay for the most part.
Really?
It was really just about integrating modern technology. They made it a little more YA, like the boys are like actually doing jobs for their dad's detective agency, like actual jobs, and they're actually making money, and they got some stuff that was like, it wasn't quite James Bond, but it was like borderline Bondian, like, this is a super tiny computer, or this is a really small phone.
Right.
Make sure you keep this so I can track you.
Right.
I was gonna say the tiny computer is a smartphone, and
Yeah.
the tiny phone is a low jack device that you stick on a car.
I know, but my point is, like, it was a little it got a little super spy-y, but overall I thought it was fine.
Mhm.
They did some like completely right, and they went to the modern times, and then they made completely original plots to go along with that. Like,
Right.
one of them was, yo, someone is ruining the lives of teenagers online, like driving them to suicide ruining.
Oh.
You guys got to
course I know
figure out
him.
what the
He's
hell is
me.
happening.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, no, like, as long as they didn't ruin the whole point of the series.
No, the whole point was well, I can't say that. Some of them did get ruined. Some of them there was a very clear cut. Here is a villain. The villain is doing a thing.
Right.
But they at least didn't like spell out. Here is the bad person's motivation.
Right. Okay. Yeah, because that's something I always liked about those books, where it encouraged your critical thinking. Because like, I always thought that was really important. Like, people should like think about that shit. And yes, I understand that I specifically, individually, really enjoy puzzle shit like that way more than other people, on average. But like, there still should be some. Like, honestly, it should have been mandatory read. Like, instead of fucking To Kill a Mockingbird, you know, the Hardy Boys and Nancy Drew should have been the required reading, because when people read those books instead and actually critically thought themselves into realizing the real purpose of the books, the stories would be so much fucking better.
Well, not just that. Let's be clear. Kids are way more likely to read and enjoy fucking Nancy Drew. Like, the thing that I got most upset about with the reading assignments we had in middle school and high school was, I'm like, look at the kids around me.
Mhm.
They fucking hate these books.
Yeah.
You are ruining any hope of them ever reading. We have to show them the classics. They hate them. They want to die.
Yeah, and it's not even a case of like, oh, they're just disconnected. It's like, no, like, Yellow Fever. What's the Yellow Fever book? Was it just called Yellow Fever or something?
Not entirely sure what you're talking about.
Right, so we had to read this book in 6th grade. It was about the yellow fever hitting America, and like the 115 people dying per day shit, or per hour shit, or whatever it fucking was. And it's like told from the perspective of this one female nurse in like Atlanta, Georgia, I think it was. And it's like, that book interested no one. No one was invested in it because we had never learned about the yellow fever in history class, because we were just reviewing the Civil War for the 12th fucking time.
Yeah.
So we never got to the part where we got to learn about the yellow fever, so no one fucking knew about the yellow fever or cared about the yellow fever, because we'd never fucking... This is our first introduction to it. We're like, oh, a lot of people fucking died, and some fucking woman was like healing them or some shit, whatever. Like, we didn't know biology yet. We didn't know about the yellow fever. We had no pre-knowledge about the subject of the book for us to appreciate the character or the setting.
Yeah, or like I remember one like historical fiction book it was about some fucking kid who was a silversmith in the Revolutionary era.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like a cocky little shit, and he did something he wasn't supposed to, and he got a bunch of silver poured on his hand. Right, and so of course it turned into a horrible fused scarred mess, and he was thrown out of his apprenticeship job because he couldn't work silver anymore.
Right.
And it's like, no one cares.
Yeah.
No one cares. Like, this is just some kid who was stupid and whiny, and I saw all the kids in my class just stop caring, like, about 5 chapters in, because nothing interesting was happening, and it was just this kid going, oh, if only I hadn't been stupid and burned my hands and ruined my future and my career.
Yeah. Yeah.
No fucking kid's gonna want to read that.
Yeah. Honestly, it's kind of wild how bad at educating the American education system is. And like, people think it's like, oh, it's Common Core. No, it's been a problem long before Common Core.
Like, let's be clear, Common Core did
accelerated
not
the
make it
issue.
better.
No, it accelerated the problem.
Yeah.
But the problem existed way before Common Core. Like,
How bad is
again, it sounds cliche, but I watched the reading requirements of my school take kids who might like to read and kill it. And that's just like, that's one of the biggest things. That's one of the worst things ever.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just wild. It's just wild how fucking degraded storytelling is in the modern era. Like, here we go. Jake and Kyle, best friends. Friends would gladly push each other down flight of stairs to get last sweet roll. Well, maybe not to that extent, period. Maybe if it was short flight of stairs, period. 10, no, 12 stairs at the max, period. In short, they were like brothers in all but blood, kicking
If you
the
listen,
other's
if your
ass
friends
in
didn't push you
tetherball.
down the stairs, you weren't really friends.
All the way back in middle school. Jake was your typical outdoor fitness guy. Kyle was more lazy gamer type. Neither cared for sports, nonsense, but bonded over equal passion, reading as addiction with fanfiction, anime, manga, light novel, web novel, fanfiction, you name it, they read it. Hello, Spinal Clone. Welcome to Misery. We're currently reading a jump chain friendship isekai that takes place in two worlds at the same time of Harry Potter and Pokemon. I love it already. Excellent.
Oh,
Well, that's great.
Jake worked real hard. Wait, what? Jake worked real estate?
Damn, Jake's moving.
While Kyle went to school and worked a job on the side. Overall, there really wasn't anything special about them. Just two best friends in their early 20s going about their lives, until their lives ended abruptly. You ever read those weird fun facts on Snapple Caps or some random webpage about how so many people died from random thing each year? It's usually just a fun fact, a random thought in passing to have fun with. That stops when it happens to you. It's not funny anymore when you become part of that tiny percent of deaths each year. Actually, no, it would still be pretty funny.
no, I think that just makes it all the more hilarious. It's like, wow, I am now part of this minuscule statistic.
Yeah, like, honestly, if I walked outside, heard, like, the crack sound of the sound barrier being pierced, and then died to an asteroid, my last thought would definitely be, motherfucker.
Nah, you know what my last thought would be? I hope this counts as a truck.
Truck-kun had to outsource.
That face
Hey,
when
you
you
know
crit
what?
fail.
His cousin, Meteor.
You know what? If you get taken out by Asteroid Kun, at least you know you're gonna have company in the next world.
Yeah, I guess. That face when you crit fail your encounter roll.
All right, so you guys are a set of level 4 adventurers. And guess what? It's a Tarrasque.
Roll a D1 million dice. I rolled a 1. Whew. Okay. Well, I never thought I would get to do this. Roll initiative. You fight 12 Tarrasques.
No, you know what I think would be a better one, Sneaky? Alright, now I need you guys to roll a D10. 1, it's the Spider Queen!
Not the horny kind. Thank you. Shadow of War.
Yes. Begone, Shadow of War.
For example, death by avalanche. That's not a tiny death. Or a fun fact. Avalanches kill people all the time. This sounds like everything I would write in middle school, but worse. Yeah, that's about that about sums it up. Yeah, no, that's about yeah. You want me to make it
Welcome.
really bad for you? I'm gonna go onto this author's profile, and we're gonna find okay, they've been only writing since 2019, so they might actually still be in middle school. Here's hoping they are still in middle school.
God.
It's a big hope.
But yeah, they have a lot of stories.
Yeah.
At least they aren't fart stories.
This is true. At least they aren't that one author that wrote 3,000 fart stories.
Yeah, like, hey, you know what? The show has the second lowest bar now.
Now, what would you rate the fart author on the bar? Would you say the bar is lower with the fart author on it? Or would you say the bar of the fart
they
author
absolutely
is...
added rungs to, like, they added, like, they replaced, like, rungs, like, 3 and 4 on the bottom of the bar.
So you would
there's
still rate the Daddy Snape having sex with a child
No. That's the lowest bar. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, that's the lowest bar, not the child rape pedophilia story. Where...
I put that on the same bar. Those are all one bar.
Really? Kirshina raping an OC trap is at the same...
I'm not saying any of the words you want me to say.
What the fuck did I just hear? Dude, we have some fucking wild stories on this podcast.
God.
Many of which
Oh yeah, the
cannot
new guy
be
is
read.
asking what he just heard. Take it away, Sneaky.
Let's just say the Naruto section and the Harry Potter section are the absolute champs of what the fuck did I just read? Like,
Yeah.
you think Pokemon is bad? Nah, man. Pokemon has nothing on Harry Potter in terms of fucked up shit.
There have been some terrible things.
We have seen things here, man.
Horrible things.
So anyway, I did want to focus on one part of this author's profile. My writing style is largely inspirational. Not sure what
does that mean?
Not sure what the fuck that means, no. I already love this place. Good to have you here, man. We are here every single Tuesday and every single Friday.
Barring emergencies.
Barring emergencies, yes, from 7 to 9. Oh,
Eastern
God.
time.
I am very harsh on trolls and unasked for criticism, air quotes.
So one of those.
I don't want people to review my stories unless they say good things about me. That's what the review section is for. End quote. Every fanfiction author on this fucking website.
99%. Because there are the crazy people by fanfiction standards.
Yeah. This is a fanfiction website. Kindly remove the pole up your ass. You are not professionally licensed to criticize people. You don't know that. Hold on, no.
Yeah.
I am professionally licensed. I'm being paid.
True.
I at least
Technically that doesn't make you
two
professionally
people?
licensed.
It makes me a
just-
professional.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
It does not actually.
Yes, it does.
No.
It's a professional.
Yes, being paid to do something does make it professional. That's the difference between professional and amateur. Is amateurs, you're not getting paid to do it. Professional is when you do. It has nothing to do with your skill. That's why professional journalists have no skill in journalism.
Ah. I see.
They're just paid to do it. Now, I will say, I will give you that. I am not licensed. However, if you give me, like, 2 minutes, I can make one.
Based.
But, you know,
He's not wrong there.
true. Also, I don't think there's a criticism license. Look, I'm not in Britain. I can't speak for Britain, but I'm fairly certain in the US you don't need a license to criticize people.
No, but a
Maybe.
college degree in writing might help. It's the closest thing.
I have a college degree in technical writing.
I technically have a
That,
college degree.
I mean, considering that we are usually tearing apart the technical aspects of these just as often as the utter nonsense ideas, I'd say that counts.
All right, excellent. So I am a professionally licensed critic. Joke's on you, author.
We're in, boys.
You're just looking for attention like a Karen. That's a slur, author, and we don't tolerate that here.
It's racist.
Also, Karens aren't looking for attention.
I was
They're
saying,
loo- yeah,
if
they're
you've
looking
seen
for a
actual
manager.
Karens,
They want to
become
speak to
quite
your
embarrassed.
manager.
I was just saying, if you've seen actual Karens, they become quite embarrassed and afraid when they receive attention.
Yeah.
Most of the time, it's because they're terrible human beings.
And they think they're doing what a normal person does until everyone starts staring at them, and then they realize they're not doing that, and then they get really angry and defensive. If you don't step on my toes, I will be civil with you. Okay, well, you just defined anyone stepping on your toes as anyone who doesn't say your story is good, so... Ooh. Is chat working now?
Also-
Chat's always working.
Yeah. Also, basic human behavior. You just told us not to do something. Guess what most people are going to try to do now?
Also, big true.
that-
Yeah, you literally just made a troll call-out post. I have some bad news for you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call out all my trolls and haters and then tell them exactly what I don't want them to do.
Me being a troll.
What advice would I have for someone writing a quest? Don't.
Yeah, don't. Just
Yeah.
fucking...
Listen, all
Don't.
jokes aside, quests are going to be something that are very difficult because there's a bunch of preset conditions that you didn't make and that you don't care about.
Yeah.
And at the end of the week, it's not a story that you're likely to be attached to. Like,
Yeah.
when the going gets tough, you push through a story that you care about and you're excited about because I made this, I'm excited about it, I love it. When it's some other schmuck's quest, that's gonna be a lot harder.
Yeah, the main issue with quests when it comes to writing them just on the level is the fact that the audience is what's going to vote on it. And oftentimes you can't trust the audience to make good decisions. They're often going to make really stupid decisions, and you're going to have to write the story in a really stupid way because they made a stupid decision, and you're going to dislike their choices more often than not. And that's going to be really hard to maintain motivation for writing your story. Because of that, like Atin said. Now, say if you maybe just really like Worm. You just like Worm so much, you don't care what you're writing for Worm. As long as you're writing Worm, you can write. And it's like, all right, good for you, buddy. And you go and do a quest. You're gonna give them, I don't know, 3 options. Never do write-in.
Write-in is
Never
terrible.
allow for a write-in because there will always be one person in your voting list who says something so incredibly stupid, but it sounds cool, so a bunch of people vote for it, and now you have volcanoes exploding in the middle of cities, and your story's over.
Yeah.
So give them 3 options. Make sure all 3 options you give them are options that you are completely fine with writing for, and have a general idea of each direction of the story. So even if they choose the direction of the story, have a general framework for how those options are going to go on down the road. Barring anything really extreme of you didn't really think they were gonna, fucking do that UE turn you slipped in there because that was dumb. Well, they're gonna probably do it.
Oh, they'll definitely do it.
So,
Absolutely.
as far as quest goes, if you're seriously interested in writing a quest, make sure you know where you want the story to go in 3 different ways, and make sure the options you lay out leads to those ways.
Oh, and be prepared to get some absolute drivel.
Yeah. Yeah, but generally, I just say don't do quests. Quests are dumb. If you don't really...
do them. Let's be clear. Don't write them. Don't make them, and don't spread them around.
Yeah.
Okay. Quests are like herpes.
If you really want to do a quest, instead of doing a quest, I would say just write out the 3 or 4 ideas or whatever comes to mind for what you would have done the quest for, and then see which one of those ideas is the most popular. Just post all of the ideas into some like idea thread and see which one people like the most, and then just roll with that instead of like having people vote on it each time. I just really don't recommend quests. Choose your own adventure stories are cool and all until you have to make it a democratic vote with the whole class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, there are some good quests, but they are very rare. They're done by someone who is actually good enough for it.
Competent.
And they are not run through by write-ins.
Yeah. Yeah, Jesus Christ, this guy, yeah, I really feel like this guy might actually be a middle schooler. Because we got a multiverse story here. We have an unfinished idea story, everything up for adoption here. We have another multiverse story, another author's note story, a AU Pokemon Adventure World story, a Don Machi harem story, Don Machi story in which someone's an earthbender, Pokemon Don Machi story, AU harem, a Gary Stufic. For some reason, OPOCMC self-insert Harry Potter Don Machi Gary Stufic. What the fuck? OC self-insert, born 20 years before the canon of DxD, a human orphan turns into the original werewolf and super assassin and fights gods and lolly dragons. I would read an Earthbender and Don Machi story. I mean, I guess it wouldn't really add anything to Don Machi though.
Yeah, and also you're in the earth. So unless you're going to get rid of the most useful aspect of an earthbender by saying they can't manipulate the dungeon, not much point.
I can imagine an Earthbender would be one of the most valuable people in the city and would have a very difficult life.
No,
No.
no, valuable people are pretty much left alone because they have been claimed by one god or another.
Yeah. If they
So-
would try to be independent, they would find themselves not independent pretty quickly.
If for no reason other than to preserve their sanity.
Yeah. A crossover of isekai and fairy tale with an OP, OC, AU. Oh, here we go. George Walsh in Chinese comics. What's the Cultivator? Cultivator.
Oh god. Whoosh.
You know what I would actually really love to see? George Washington isekai'd into a cultivator world.
True.
Not really sure how that would go, but okay.
Exactly! We have no idea how it would go, which is why I would like to see it. I didn't say I would enjoy it, or that it would be good. I said I want to see it. Sort of
Just want to
like
experience it just once.
Yeah, exactly. Sort of like a Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter, where it sounds really fucking stupid and the whole premise is really dumb, except you go and see it and you're like, all right, okay,
Why
fair.
wasn't this Why was it this dumber? I don't understand.
All right, fair enough. You made your point. Why is this good?
Really need to sit down and either read or watch that.
Oh, I
So
recommend you watch it.
All I remember is being like, wow, this was good in both formats.
Yeah, it was really weirdly good, and I was kind of just like, what the fuck? Oh boy, we got lots of fanon going on with this one. Child of Chaos, an anime crossover section crossing over with the game crossover section. I'm sure nothing can go wrong with this story.
Oh no.
I knew you liked Cracky
no.
Worlds. No, dude, I love crack work. No, the important part about crack work is that A, it stays crack, and B, it stays funny. Because you can have stupid crack. You can have shit that's just fucking dumb. And it's not funny.
I looked at the fucking summary. I shouldn't have.
You shouldn't have. You really shouldn't have read that summary.
Oh god.
It's your own pain. It's self-inflicted.
Yeah, I suppose. It's my thing.
Zelrich,
I get
otherwise
inflicted.
known in fanon as the Great Emperor Troll, made mistake in magical experiment. The result of mistake both surprised and amused Zelrich so much he decided to roll with it. Because that's how fanon Zelrich works. Join our main character on the ride of his life through the multiverse of chaos, as he gets thrown into chaos, and chaos at every turn. Rip off, jump chain, crack fic. Now this sounds like the sort of story that is just dumb. This is probably a crack fic, in that it makes no fucking sense at any point in time. But it's still probably just dumb and not funny. So to prove my point, we're gonna read it. And you're gonna be like, wow, Sneaky, I'm never gonna challenge you again, because you keep being right about fanfiction. Hello everyone, welcome to my newest fanfic. As is customary here, I will now give you trigger warnings for the new readers before I read this fic. It saves you time. If I get complaints in the review section about things I warned you about, I will burn you at the stake to make a phoenix jealous. Trolls get burned at the stake. Trigger warnings. The special things people should read before taking action. This is a harem fic. There will be 5 women. Not every
Imagine
girl.
telling people that they're gonna get burned to the stake while you act like a harem.
However, keep in mind that the MC will sleep with more than just 5 women, so they won't all be in his harem.
Alhamdulillah.
Because you
Why?
don't own a girl from just sleeping with her. How progressive? How progressive of you are.
God, there's so much wrong with everything that was just said there.
that statement,
Yo, that's
I-
like
no.
Blizzard's diversity generator.
I really enjoy this one part. Because you slept with her. The author is implying there are other ways to own women.
Obviously, they think marriage is an owning act.
I just
And they're
came back to
against
this to
marriage.
hear that the main character would sleep with more than 5 women. Well, yes.
Amazing what happens when you walk
I
away
hate
from this and come
fucking
back.
site.
Honestly, possibly, what I've been told is possibly one of the best aspects of this podcast is when you leave and then you come back, and I will say possibly the most ridiculous shit you've ever heard that day.
It's best coming back after not being here for a while, and then just suddenly coming into the podcast and then just hearing that.
It's like
There's like,
opening
what
your
the
door
fuck?
to your apartment up and you just getting hit with a cream pie and you're like, but wait, I'm the only person that lives here.
No, it's more like getting hit in the head with a hammer because it gives you a fucking mental concussion.
Well, you missed it earlier. We were edging the aneurysm.
Yeah.
I mean, that's okay. I can just edge my aneurysm by playing Dota 2.
I may use canon, but I do not do canon main characters. Canon is the original timeline. I change everything. Deal with it, or don't read my story.
Then go write original fiction.
I know, right?
How about you go fuck yourself?
This is a crack fic. Please understand that. I like how he's like, this is a crack fic. I'm just going to assume you know what that means. It's also a rip-off jump chain, but who's counting? You. You're counting. 1, 2, 3. You open the door to your apartment and get shot in the face. Some of these stories are like that. Some of
Welcome
these
to Chicago.
stories absolutely go from 0 to 1,000.
Or 0 to brain aneurysm.
0 to brain aneurysm, true. 4. Many worlds can be molded, however, one likes with creativity and imagination. False. I like bullshit. I will be making my own bullshit. If you don't like the bullshit I make, leave. Fair enough, but also, screw you, author, you're posting this on a public forum. Don't use logic in my worlds, it will only hurt you. Alright, fair.
Oh, someone's getting hurt, all right.
Fair, face
It's
the
your
wall.
dignity, author.
Alright, that's going off. Face the wall. I like to add original things to the stuff I think up. If you can't handle massive AUs in a fanfic, why are you on this website?
Because we're probably
Ooh.
bored as fuck.
Why are you reading fiction about a series you enjoy if you don't want to read a massive AU that completely disregards everything you enjoy about a series?
I wonder why.
I don't know, author. It's just sometimes when I go to the ice cream shop and I order vanilla, I really don't expect them to just give me a dildo. It's wild. Now, sue me if you see us, if you're offended by
Yep.
this one. But normally,
Sneaky.
when you go into an ice cream shop, you expect ice cream.
That's your fault for ordering ice cream in San Francisco.
You're right. That is my bad. This will be a Gary Stu story. However, the MC will not be OP from the start, but will quickly become OP. I am using the M rating for blood and sex, showing that I don't know what the M rating actually means. I also don't know how sex works, so I can't write good limes and lemons.
I mean, that's the least surprising part about this.
Honestly, it actually is the least surprising part about all this. If you have not done it yet, please Google the term definition of fanfiction and understand it and move on with your life. Okay, sure. Highlighted. Search for definition of fanfiction. Noun. Incorporating the character and concepts of a commercial media property created by admirers, typically without permission from the author or owner.
Amazing. Thank you, author. Very cool.
Okay. Yeah. All right, so I'm internalizing this. Let's get another definition here. Fan fiction is fictional writing written in an amateur capacity by fans of a fictional universe, unauthorized by, but based on an existing work of fiction. Okay, so fan fiction is a fan writing a work of fiction about an already existing universe of fiction. So one could say fan fiction is writing about an amateur's ideas about their interpretations of canon. And now let's go back to this story. I feel like the author's the one that needs to go Google fan fiction definition.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like number 5 is like the exact opposite of a definition of a fan fiction. That's weird. Is this like
I
the
don't know.
Quran where the older
Yes.
entries are more correct than the newer entries?
Yeah. Pretty
Thought it was
much.
the other way around.
No, I think when it comes to the Quran, it's the older the entry is, so the closer to Muhammad it is, the more correct it is.
Yeah. More or less.
Release rate. At the moment, this is my 9th fic in progress, so I have no promises about how often I'll update it. Whew.
God.
I will leave a review. I feel like you need to Google the definition of fan fiction. But don't worry. I understand that is very hard for you. So I will post the definition in this review. Let's make sure my grammar's correct here. Yep, I really like how sassy Grammarly is here, where it's like, you said period, but do you mean question mark? I'm like, yeah, you're right. You're right, Grammarly. I do mean question mark. So let's go grab that review. Yep. And copy. And paste. And copy. And paste. Post review. All right. Proluge time. We're gonna accelerate through this because it's really fucking long, and I don't want to be here.
Oh God.
Yes. Thank you.
Truly a saint.
Illusion and reality. Where does the line begin and where does it end? Well, reality is reality, and illusions aren't real.
True.
You would know that if you weren't hallucinating dogs.
True. What happens when our reality is proven to be an illusion? Well, then it's an illusion.
Also, depending on what theories of reality you subscribe to, whether or not reality is an illusion is irrelevant.
Also true.
In fact, even if we're all right, even if we are 40 levels deep of computer beings creating simulations of simulations of simulations, it's irrelevant.
Yeah.
Like, here's the question: Can you
This is the
do
reality that we
anything-
inhabit.
Yeah, cognito
Can
ergo
you do
sum.
anything about it actively? If
Yeah.
the answer is yes, then do something. If you can't, why the fuck do you care?
Yeah,
Well,
if you
yeah.
can't, then guess what? Reality is reality, and you can't fucking do anything about it. You're not going to a higher plane. There are no 72 virgins waiting for you. Get over it.
Woof.
You can
Uh,
still complain about it. Like, you can complain about how they got the taste of chicken wrong or the taste of steak wrong.
Yeah, everyone knows steak is supposed to taste like bacon.
This is incorrect.
No, this is highly correct. That's why filet mignon is the best steak.
And
It's
true.
the closest to
No,
true
steak tastes like steak, and bacon tastes like bacon. They're two different animals.
That's what you think.
You see, that just means the simulation got you.
A big farm is getting to you. He's already been paid off.
No fuck. True.
Damn it, Nose. When did you fall victim to the lies of Big Farm?
Instead of big pharma, it's big farm.
Big farming.
No, he's fallen under the sway of Farmer Bob.
I always knew Farming
All hail
Simulator
Farmer
was
Bob,
part of the plot.
All hail Farmer Bob. All hail Farmer Bob. Babylon. His name's Bob because it's actually Babylon.
Babylon.
Bob and Lon.
There are no wars. Babylon fights Babylon fights Babylon. They're
When
your
we
walls, they're your walls,
dream,
they're
are
your
we
walls.
dreaming of an illusion, or is it when we wake up that we are in fact dreaming and the dreamer exists in reality? So this is just a really complicated way of the Chinese proverbial butterfly philosophy question. Is the butterfly a man dreaming he's a butterfly, or is it the butterfly dreaming he's a man?
Fun fact: did you know that it doesn't fucking matter?
Yeah, it turns out that with a lot of Chinese philosophy, the answer is it doesn't fucking matter. If you can get shot and die, that's probably reality. And if you don't wake up from that, that means it was reality. And if you do wake up from that, it means it wasn't reality, and therefore it doesn't matter. It's shockingly easy when you apply some Western philosophy directly to the forehead.
True.
Like the problem these days, I don't want to go back in my day, but like they're not fucking teaching philosophy classes correctly anymore. Like,
Well, they're not teaching philosophy, period, anymore.
no, well, okay. At least when I went to my community college, that at least had actual proper philosophy classes.
Yeah, I don't actually remember if Champlain had philosophy classes.
It didn't have like a direct philosophy class, but like, come on now, Chuck didn't put up with not teaching philosophy.
Oh, I know. That's kind of my point. Is that it had a lot of classes where the teachers thought they were philosophers.
To be fair, that's because they got paid way too much.
A lot, yeah, I would
Yeah.
say. To be fair, a lot of them thought they were philosophers, and then some of them were Chuck.
We don't talk about Chuck.
Yes, we do. Chuck was the shit.
Oh wait, I'm thinking of a different Chuck. Fuck.
Get chucked on.
Get chucked.
Yeah, I'm talking about the dude who was mistaken like 7 times for being a hobo.
Yeah.
Yes.
And every
No.
time CPS got called, they were just like, "That is not a hobo. That is a professor."
That was just that was that the one with the ponytail?
No, that was the one with
You're thinking of the guy with the really long name who liked to wear those those feet shoes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, the one that we're talking about had he had salt and pepper down to the shoulders.
Right. Well, I mean that doesn't really narrow it down.
It does
Like,
actually narrow it down.
Chuck
was pretty distinct.
All of his shorts were just pants that he shredded the knees of.
Yeah.
Oh yes, him.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. That's what did it.
Anyway,
Look,
this is an interesting concept I'm proposing, right? No.
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 There's
No.
a very simple reason I'm proposing such a concept, and that reason is I'm currently questioning this concept because who am I? I don't know. Do I have family and friends? No.
No.
What world am I from? Earth, maybe? Animes and
Hell.
books? Nailed it. Really, how can I forget everything, but I remember my entertainment? Well, you
Because
just
you're a moron.
no, that's literally just fucking Alzheimer's.
True.
Can't remember
I
your
must
kid's
apologize
name,
for you
but you can
have
remember
the
what
death.
brought you happiness. Sort of.
I would like to apologize. You have death. Is there any way to cure it? No.
Yeah. Currently I'm in a warehouse. Blah 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 iPod, blah blah blah, strange room, blah blah blah. I really couldn't be fucking bothered. Oh wow, this is cringe. Hi, I'm Zelrich. I brought you here so you can be a gamer in my test world. Blah blah blah, kaleidoscope. Blah 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 blah, noble sacrifice. I punted you into a super AU world. Blah 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 blah. Basically, an absolute butchery of Zelrich's character. Zelch, whatever the fuck you pronounce his name, whatever, I don't care. Blah blah blah. The author doesn't either. Jesus Christ, this entire paragraph, this entire fucking first chapter is just exposition of Zelrich being like, hey, here's your powers, I'm gonna list everything to you one by one. Here, we're gonna go full Harry Potter in the list of lists on you.
Oh no.
Harry Potter and the list of lists of the lists.
Oh, jeez. One Piece. We're just talking about
Got
fantasy
it. Harry
worlds
Potter
now.
and the 7 listicles.
So here's one thing that I always really hated about the whole Zelch, Mr. Zelch here.
Harry Potter and the Wizard of BuzzFeed.
Being the causer of the AU crossover thing. He can't go to worlds that he doesn't exist in. That's the one caveat to his power. So
Yeah. He's not so much going to them either as just like, oh, those are interesting memories.
yeah. He's like, he pulls on their experiences and shit. He can't physically go there, but he can send people there. He can send everyone that's not him to those worlds once he knows where they are. But he's like, oh yeah, I'll send you to One Piece and like Bleach and shit. But it's like, you don't exist there. Someone of your power level would not be, hidden in a DxD world, would not be hidden in any of these fantasy worlds. Like, maybe you could get away with being hidden in, like, I don't know, Game of Thrones or something. Just, like, hermit yourself away at the top of some unattainable mountain or some shit, I guess.
We don't know where this person went that is a gamer. Where do you think he went? I don't know, maybe that fantasy world over there?
Where did he go? Oh, I found him. He's in the arcade.
I mean, modern day gamers, it'd be like, where did the gamer go? We're hunting them down. Well, have you checked DxD yet? Oh, good point.
True. Or have you checked this
Have
room?
Question, have you checked DxD? No? Then why haven't you checked it?
Yeah, it's like, holy shit, it literally, I don't think this guy's ever heard of paragraphs. This dude just
Would
is
not
like,
surprise me.
block of text and then single sentence paragraphs for like the next entire chapter. I think he had like 2 blocks of text. And that's because they were just really long sentences and not even like actual paragraphs. God, this is cringe. Yeah, this is absolute, like, high school. Isn't my idea so cool? Isn't it so awesome? Alright, I hyped up Harry Potter so much, I have to go into the section for our final story of the night. Where's the gamer? Have you looked at insert horny anime yet? Yeah, big true. Now, where's my medication?
Good question. Probably under your skin.
Oh no.
They are under your skin, they are under your skin, they are under your skin, get them out.
Remember, if you don't feel comfortable in your skin, you should just tear it off.
This is actually very frustrating because that was Mucinex and I want it.
Unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see, 6 feet apart. What could possibly go wrong here? Oh, good, it's a Sarah. Yep, okay, sure. 6 feet apart. Remus Lupin.
What could possibly go wrong here?
Yes, indeed. Remus Lupin is known around the college campus as a loner and a sarcastic. What no one knows is that he's also HIV positive.
What?
I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon.
No.
Wait a minute.
I beg your pardon.
Hang up a second.
I beg your pardon.
I think we need to stop.
During the winter,
Oh, wait.
Remus stumbles on a new 24-hour cafe, the Black Pot. and it soon becomes his new haunt. Then the COVID pandemic hits. Remus is classes.
I deadass do not know how to respond.
Remus is classes as high risk and can only see his friends online. But who is Starman? And why is he getting Remus hard? A Cyrus times Remus story.
I request that you stop.
What must I do to make you
I am
cease forever?
physically ill.
That came out of nowhere? We warned you!
We told you.
Yeah, we did explicitly warn you.
Yeah.
This podcast goes from 0 to a fucking 100 real fucking fast.
What the fucking shit is this one? Evidence of absence. An alternative universe. Harry Potter the MR.
Methods of rationality.
Oh no.
Yeah.
We're moving on.
Understandable.
Yeah. Agreed.
Oh yeah, here we go. When emotions run high. Abandoned by his friends and peers, Harry seeks retribution against everyone that has wronged him. Alone.
A long ass list, Harry.
Alone in an abandoned classroom, he plots his revenge as emotions run high.
No.
Bro.
What the fuck? What the fuck is that? Bro. Lonely children. Its simple mission, one that Harry disliked to do. But at the end of the day, Harry could never turn down a mission like this. How could he refuse to be the hero that he always wished for in that dark broom closet? I'm not clicking this story. I don't like
no one would blame
anything
you.
about this story.
Yeah. Yeah.
The one problem with the room of requirement is that while it can make anything inside the room, the only thing you can bring out of the room is stuff that already exists in Hogwarts. Because it literally teleports that to the room.
Yeah.
And it's weird how that works.
These kids don't know how to write a fucking summary. Whew.
That
I
is
have
a bit
some-
abundantly obvious.
I have some bad news for you.
Preaching to the choir here.
Some of these
Jesus,
people
you're
went
about to
on
be
to
sad.
write stories and publish them, and their summaries are even worse.
Yeah.
Someone find me Engulfing Silence's fic that he published. Because that's fucking horrible.
How about I don't?
Let's not remember that exists.
Oh boy! If you thought the previous story was bad, just wait. There's more. A Savior's Salvation. 2 months after the war, Harry is struggling to cope with life. Having faced his mortality, he has decided to take drastic actions and relive the childhood he and Cyrus never got to share.
What?
Nani the fuck?
This worries me. After the war, Draco was released on house arrest under the care of an appointed guardian. How
I
will he
smell
cope
heresy.
that he has to live with his cousin Cyrus Black?
I too sense heresy.
A baby Harry Potter and no magic. Draco
then why the-
times Harry Potter.
Oh no, it's this.
Hey, it didn't go where I was afraid it was gonna
Holy shit, that went from 0 to 1,000.
go. Okay, but Sneaky, it didn't go to the worst possible version of itself.
This
How could
shit
this
isn't
get
quite as
worse?
shit it could be.
Wait,
It could have
no,
been. It could have
no.
used Cyrus and Baby Harry.
Hmm.
I dislike that this is correct. Die.
I dislike your existence.
I have to give you credit on that one. That is true. That could be a worse scenario. However, that's like saying being executed in a firing line by a Russian trap boy is worse than being executed in a firing line by a Russian. You're still being executed in a firing line?
One's more humiliating and wrong.
Yeah, but like the only people that'll be alive to remember the fact that you got executed by a Russian trap boy is the Russian trap boy.
And the commander.
Well, and whatever horde of creepy deranged men he's seduced.
Who have all probably been put up against the firing line.
Don't talk about sexies like that.
Please
Wait.
kill yourself immediately.
Is he the Russian trap or the one that got seduced?
Do you
I
want
don't
an
want
answer?
to know.
Yeah, me neither. Let's be real here.
Like, this is what I'm talking about here, where it's just like, what the actual, like, who the fuck wakes up in the morning and goes, today I'm gonna write a story where Draco Malfoy raises a baby Harry Potter, and it's not a normal baby Harry Potter. It's Harry Potter who took a potion to turn back into a baby, and then Draco Malfoy raises Harry, and then they fall in love and have sex. But it's okay because Harry is secretly older mentally.
I am violently racist.
If anything, the Harry Potter section has firmly convinced me that the death penalty needs to be brought back.
I mean, it's convinced me that the death penalty isn't enough.
You need to stop. I am sorry, but I only stop when it's 9 o'clock or I'm being paid.
You
There
heard
are
him.
two ways to end this torture.
In just 5 more minutes.
Oh, no.
Oh no.
No, we're not gonna read that one. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, yep, we're reading this one. This is The Leader.
No.
Albus Dumbledore has
I'll
been
be honest,
searching.
Sneaky, I thought you were going to start with "This is the story of a girl."
This is the story of a girl who cried a river and drowned the whole world. So anyway,
Frankly,
look at
her
this
drowning the whole
photograph.
world was a mercy.
I wonder if someone's done that meme. Because, you know, they say the word photograph in that song, and I'm wondering if anyone's ever led into that by mashing it with photograph by Nickel Creek. And then, so it goes story of a girl into look at this photograph.
It makes me laugh.
I might actually have to look that up now if there's a story of a girl photograph mashup. Doing it live. Love story photograph mashup, so no story of a girl photograph mashup. Unfortunate. Alright. Is what it is. Okay. Albus Dumbledore has been searching for Harry Potter for 7 years. Unknowingly, he bumped into the 18-year-old and stirs the hornet's nest. Harry, who is the leader of the criminal underworld, vows to put an end to the manipulative old man and has deals with Voldemort, who is encroaching upon his territory.
What's
Severus
with all the
Snape.
mafia you use?
It's not a mafia AU.
Well, it sounds like one.
I know. Severus Snape times Harry Potter, submissive Severus. Will Cyrus and Remus join the harem?
Please, no.
Death be upon you.
Interesting story. Unfortunately, there are explosives in your mailbox.
Unfortunately,
Hey, look,
you got
everyone!
mail.
I found the source of it. It's a pipe bomb.
Finally.
Yeah.
A weapon to surpass Metal Gear.
No, see, Aaron, what you have to say is, unfortunately for you, you got mail.
Hey, it's me, your boy, Theodore Kaczynski, and I just sent you a package.
First class delivery, overnight shipping. I made it just for you.
Hell yeah. UPS Express delivery.
They throw it through your window.
Exactly.
UPS Express fires it out of a cannon.
Fucking cannon.
I just came back to I found the source of a pipe bomb.
Yeah.
Good, you
True.
missed the story where Harry Potter seduces Severus, Remus, and Cyrus. Voldemort would absolutely look down on the Irish. Now, absolutely, yeah, he would. Come out, ye black and tans. Voldemort can never look at a bagpipe the same way again.
My man Voldemort reincarnated and found himself next to at least 15 dozen sticky bombs.
More
He
like,
died instantly. To the sound of the Scottish, to the sound of Amazing Grace on bagpipes, he died instantly with a black Scottish Cyclops laughing at him.
oh, Albus, I have a package for you. Oh, Minerva, did it say who it's from? It had the words IRA listed on it. Did you owe taxes again? Hey, Internal Revenue Agency is a totally valid agency. I don't know what you're talking about. Open up your package.
I don't care who the IRS sends. I am not paying taxes.
I see.
I've
Anyway,
never seen a Harry Potter movie, so this is extremely out of context. Don't worry. Even if you had seen Harry Potter, the context wouldn't have made it better.
Yeah.
That would only make it worse.
Have you heard of a sound of context being thrown out the window? Nuh-uh. Would you like to?
I found this new fancy word. It's called defenestration. Want to practice it?
Only in Prague.
A flight into games. I used to work at local go-kart track. After being reincarnated into ancient pure-blood family during Marauder era, I can safely say learning magic and all it has to offer is top of my priority. Self-insert OC gamer drama humor.
Getting dinner. Fuck this shit.
OC
Understandable.
times basilisk.
I beg your pardon.
You heard my words.
Inshallah.
I beg your pardon.
Edge that aneurysm. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it is 9 p.m. And that means the torture ends here. For now.
By Allah.
Because we'll be back here on Friday at 7.
True.
Local man dies.
I edged my aneurysm too hard.
Good. Death be upon you.
We'll be back here at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Friday because there is, unfortunately, always more. And it always gets worse.